Hey, Minnesota, Governor Walz here, out at the State Fair with my daughter.
Hope.
Every year we as a family do something old and something new. I get to pick something, a classic, the old mill ride, to do that. And then Hope gets to pick something new.
I think we're going to go do the slingshot.
Which I don't know what it is, and they're keeping it from me. But then we're going to go get some food, corn dog.
I'm vegetarian.
Turkey then. And
Turkey's meat.
Not in Minnesota, turkey's special. And we will go do some of those things and report back.
Oh my God. Yes! Oh my God. Keep going.
Yes!
That was good. Good job, Dad.
Oh, thanks, Hope.
That's Governor Tim Walz, and that's what I was talking about when I opened my phone. That's what popped up, enjoying the Minnesota State Fair last year with his daughter, Hope. Joining us now, Democratic Governor Maura Healey of Massachusetts. Maura, it's great to have you on the show. I know you know Tim, and I also can predict you were pretty happy about this choice.
Yeah, I'm thrilled. And you see the smile on my face. I mean, just watching that clip, that's Tim. He's the real deal. You know, he's the coach you want to play for. He's the colleague that you want to serve with. He's the guy you want in the bunker. I mean, he's just a really special person. What you saw last night is who Governor Walz is, and it's why he's such a great pick.
Yeah. And Lauren, later, as you can see, Maura and I planned our outfits. I'm not sure what happened with you, but you have the next question.
I need the memo later. Governor Healey, it's so nice to see you. It's Lauren Leader. You know, we were talking in the last segment about the way in which folks on the right and the Trump campaign are hoping to paint Governor Walz as somehow extreme left. Out of touch with American, sort of the center of American politics. What's your sense about how they can respond best to that and the extent to which, like, those policies that the governor has passed in Minnesota, you know, line up certainly with many things you've done in your state and elsewhere around the country? What's your sense of how they respond to those kind of attacks of being so far left or out of touch?
Well, they are out of touch. I mean, the fact of the matter is Tim Walz cut taxes in Minnesota. It's something that myself and a lot of other Democratic governors have done. He made sure that people had health insurance. He helped small businesses. He fought for paid family leave. And yes, he's protecting abortion rights. I mean, at the end of the day, these are mainstream values, and they poll really well with Democrats and Republicans. So, you know, Tim Walz is right on target. I think you see the Trump-Vance team just lashing out, grabbing at anything and making just outrageous and extreme arguments. They really lack total credibility. And, you know, I go back to Tim as a football coach. I bet if you polled the players, you know, who he coached, I don't know if they're Democrat, Republican, Independent, I don't know what they are. But I know they're voting for Tim Walz. And I know that Tim Walz is the guy who was only the second Democrat in 100 years to win his district. And then he went on to win it 5 times over, including during the Tea Party Revolution. That says something about how Tim is delivering and has delivered on the ground, both in Congress and as governor. And that's a winning formula, no matter what Trump and Vance want to say.
Governor, in late 2015, Donald J. Trump descended the escalator at Trump Tower, and thus began an era of fear in politics. He injected a dose of fear into the American electorate that spread rapidly and still exists. So let's talk about Coach Walz, and let's talk about the antidote to fear and what it means to voters, to average citizens, to have someone running for vice president who looks like the person behind them in line at the grocery store or at the gas station. Talk about that.
Well, like, Mike, one thing is he coached linebackers, right? He's a defensive coordinator. He was in the trenches. And, you know, I just think there's so much about his bio, right? His life has been public service, enlisting at age 17, you know, growing up on a farm. I grew up on a farm myself in New Hampshire. I played sports. I think, you know, his background in sports and as a coach really resonates with a lot of people. And he's about instilling hope in people. You know, if you're a coach, and by the way, He took on a team that was 0-27. In 3 years, they win the state championship, right? You get there by being a coach who knows how to psych people up, who knows how to support them. You do that through, sure, you got to push people, but also giving them hope and a belief in themselves that's bigger than they even realize at the time. And, you know, I think that's why Tim is so beloved by all of us who serve with him as governor, why he was beloved by his players, and why he's beloved by people across Minnesota. And, Mike, I know at the end of the day, there are a lot of people who are just now getting to know Tim Walz, but boy, are they going to fall in love with him.
Governor Healey, first of all, a strong no way to that slingshot. You could never catch me on that. But you were among one of the first Democratic governors to urge President Biden back in early July to reconsider whether he should continue his campaign. Just want to get your thoughts about what you've seen since, including his decision to step away, and also what role do you think the current president should play in this campaign?
Well, I'll leave that to President Biden, and I just commend President Biden for his incredible 4 years. I mean, one of the most productive presidents in U.S. history. He has delivered so much for us. He saved democracy in 2020. He is a hero and a patriot. I'm excited about this ticket and where we are right now. And I think you've seen Kamala Harris, who I served with as Attorney General, come out with grace, with strength, with force, with humility, with humor, right? And that's why, you know, Trump's ducking debates and they're running scared and they're making crazy, cringy comments along the way. So, you know, what I think President Biden has made his support clear. He'll be out. All of us are going to be out. The stakes are so high. This is so, so important.
Democratic Governor Maura Healey of Massachusetts, thank you so much for coming on this morning. It's great to see you. We appreciate it.
Great to be with you.
All right.